The destructions of nature as well as of fauna and flora and of life caused by you are sweeping over the whole earth. You have caused enormous damage, destructions as well as hardship and misery, and keep on causing them. You have straightened torrents and creeks and have dug drainage ditches across the wetlands, in order to make them habitable to you. So the creeks and rivulets became powerful rivers, rivers became raging currents, while wild waters are bursting their banks and causing enormous inundations, which are devastating all land, destroying a vast number of your achievements and existences, and together with other catastrophes are claiming hundreds of thousands and millions of human lives. And all of what happens today in no way means the end of the worldwide catastrophes, which you bear the blame for triggering, for only in the now new millennium, everything is getting even worse, because nature will rise up even more gigantically against your environment, destroying insanity and attain an extent which bears comparison with the primeval times of Earth. Considering and analyzing the coming events and catastrophes which are going to break upon Earth, the climate and you, human being of Earth, then it is clearly and obviously recognizable that solely you bear the blame for the whole misery, namely, as already explained, due to the relentlessly increasing overpopulation, as a result of which all the enormous problems are arising. This can no longer be stopped with simple means, but only by means of worldwide radical and rigorous laws and measures, whose compliance you must ensure. The blame for the coming disaster and chaos as well as catastrophes arises fundamentally due to your gigantic mass of humankind. Even if you as a pathologically dumb and irresponsible scientist or know-it-all claim the opposite. Solely your overpopulation is the comprehensive factor of all terrible things, namely concerning the energy and drinking water shortage as well as regarding the destruction of nature and the environment, and also with regard to climate warming, new diseases and epidemics, devout crimes, hatred, unfreedom, lovelessness, peace and disharmony, and so on and so forth. And the more your overpopulation is growing, the more extensive and unmanageable all the problems and terrible things become. If an existing problem of this or that kind resulting from the overpopulation is being approached and a solution is being found and carried into effect, then the whole thing is being overtaken by emerging problems of the same or similar a new kind during the time of the implementation of the solution, because the world population is increasing further by hundreds of millions of people during the time at which solutions are being implemented, whereby the solutions worked out become null and void and are being overtaken by similar new problems. Also the asylum system, the neo-Nazi organizations and extremists organizations, mass migrations, worldwide terrorism and new wars will spread and constantly cause more unpeace, hardship and misery and other new big problems. Very harsh and effective measures must be taken against all terrible things that come from you, human being of Earth, and which you have unleashed against all life, against nature, against the climate, against the atmosphere, against the bodies of water as well as against fauna and flora and against the whole planet due to the irrationality of the cultivated overpopulation. This also includes measures against the world domination craving machinations of those mightful ones of state, who feloniously trigger wars and terror all over the world, execute wars and acts of terrorism themselves and precipitate other countries into chaos, whereas they also intend to trample the mentality of the people into the dirt as well as break and eradicate their religion and politics. As long as you submit to these machinations and don't take a stand against these felonies and don't bring the right people into the corresponding governmental positions, until then you will create neither true love, true peace, true freedom nor harmony on Earth. Due to the rapid growth of your humankind, human being of Earth, you are forced to destroy the environment and to exploit the resources of Earth more and with increasing frequency, in order to meet everyone's increasing needs. But all these needs increase to an even greater extent with the growing number of your humanity, whereby both nature and the fauna and flora as well as the climate and the entire environment are being increasingly affected and destroyed. The planet itself is being tormented and slowly destroyed, because atomic and other types of explosions caused by wars are disturbing the structure of the earth and triggering earthquakes and seaquakes as well as volcanic eruptions. Waters, nature, the atmosphere and the nearest space are becoming polluted and poisoned, while the primeval forests are profit-greedily destroyed and razed. Already in September 1964 I wrote the following to all international governments. The need of the hour and of the future is that the insanity of the overpopulation must finally be stopped. Although the climate change triggered by humankind cannot be stopped anymore through this, the destructions, demolishments, the chaos and the catastrophes can nevertheless be gotten under control somewhat through rationality and intellect. For example, by rebuilding natural wetlands and ceasing the overexploitation of the planet as well as of nature and fauna and flora, because only in this way can the worst still be avoided. However, this requires that the insanity of the overpopulation is being stopped by effective legal measures. The overpopulation RESP. The world population must be most urgently gotten under control and reduced by means of a worldwide controlled birth stop, because only through this can all the in every respect increasing needs of humankind and the further destructions connected with it finally be brought to an end. Very much has already been set in motion that the old prophecies are being fulfilled, wherefore it is also necessary to take steps against it. The pollution of the environment through fossil fuel engines of all kinds as well as through chimneys etc. must be gotten under control most urgently, together with all other forms of environmental pollution and atmospheric contamination. It is also of the most vital necessity to keep endangered avalanche zones and inundation areas clear of all human buildings of every description, such as residential buildings and factories etc. Wetlands etc. must be given back to nature as natural water collection areas for floodwaters. Residential buildings and factories etc. must no longer be built along torrents, creeks, at lakefronts, and or on avalanche slopes or plains endangered by water etc. Moreover, precautionary measures must most urgently be taken along creeks, rivers, lakes, streets, residential areas, slopes and mountains etc. by raising very strong and tall control structures in endangered places, where wild waters overflow or mud flows. Snow avalanches and mudslides as well as mountain slides can possibly come down and cause damage, in order to preserve houses, streets, paths and railway lines from undercutting, inundation, spillage and from being torn away. This will be necessary in many places, because much of the predicted chaos and the catastrophes will unfortunately already be unavoidable and time is of the essence and is getting short. Therefore action is called for. And this is the responsibility of the entire earthly humankind. Human being of earth must take action, before it is definitely too late and nothing at all can be done anymore, in order to stop the irresponsibly triggered process of the destruction of the climate, of the fauna and flora as well as of nature and of the planet and the extinction of humankind. Where are you going, humankind of this earth? Quo vadis, humanitas? You are straying down the path of a darkness on the path leading to ruin with no return. Save yourself, because it isn't too late yet for a complete change in order to walk on the path of light, of the creative natural on the light path of the truth of the ever-present creative principles, the path of the good itself. Human being, turn your back on your present life and find your way back to the creative natural laws and recommendations. Find your way back to the true path of the real life. However, the way cannot be found and taken through religion or sectarianism. Therefore, it isn't satisfying that you hurry to church daily or every Sunday, in order to appear brilliant there, that you of all people are one of those who are diligent churchgoers, in order to listen to the word of the clergyman at every opportunity and, if possible, to sit in the front row right beside him, so that everyone can see you well and notice that you are diligently listening to the word of God and are so close to the clergyman, are going to the mosque, to the temple, to the synagogue or into any house of prayer, in order to pray, or that not a single word of the ministering religious representative slips your attention. Human being, such doing is no law of the creative truth, nor a creative natural for ordination or regulation, and it isn't the sense of life.